Hi guys, That Song Review Guy here, and welcome to the new segment on this channel called Charts of the Past. Today we're going to be looking back at the top 10 singles in the UK as of the 15th of June 2004. Kicking things off at number 10 is All Falls Down by Kanye West featuring Syleena Johnson. Dropped as the third single from Kanye's debut album The College Dropout, All Falls Down, which samples musical and lyrical elements from the Lauryn Hill song Mystery of Iniquity, centres around the theme of self-consciousness and how people use material possessions in order to maintain an identity of someone living the good life, when in reality it's the complete opposite. Verse 1 focuses on the story of a young female who has chosen to stay in college due to the idea of it being a safe option in order for her to have a career, despite the fact that she doesn't want to be there at all. She would gladly quit, but due to the fact that she feels that she would let her parents down if she did so, she chooses to suck it up and remain there. She masks her indecision and insecurity by purchasing expensive trainers and styles her hair like the female rapper Eve, who at the time made the style popular among young black women. Verse 2 has Kanye focusing on himself, claiming that he covers up his own self-consciousness through wearing expensive watches, trainers and sports jerseys, acting like a baller in order to gain credibility, highlighting that those who are higher up in the economic hierarchy resort to underhanded tactics in order to maintain that position in life and live the lifestyle everyone who isn't in such a fortunate position desires. The third verse is where Kanye concentrates on people in general and how most cover up their own self-consciousness and insecurities via material possessions and acting in a way in order to appear like some Jack the Lad character. Apart from the annoyance of the first verse where Kanye emphasises some of his words by using the slant, which was made infamous by Chingy, or Chingy, whatever his name is. I know that this is meant as a joke, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. It's a really solid song with great wordplay, solid lyrics, and Syleena's husky delivery in the chorus is really enjoyable. At number 9 is Born in England by Twisted X. I don't know whether this is the same deal all over the world, but here in England, whenever the World Cup or Euro football championships come around, there tends to be a slew of pop-up acts releasing songs with a footballing theme, created in order to gear up the fans of the national team and give a crap about competition, which we all know we're not going to win anyway. There's another song like this that appears later on in the list, but first this one. Born in England comes courtesy of a collection of musicians who went by the name Twisted X. Released this not only as an anthem for the England national football team, but also as a charity single. The lyrics really aren't all that interesting, just about the people of England who all actively despise one another, joining together to cheer on their national team, all the while throwing in some lyrical inaccuracies, i.e. saying that the game was born in England when it was the Greeks who invented the game, and encouraging us all to don the red, white and blue, which anyone with eyes can tell you that England predominantly wear white. Sometimes red, but not blue. Well, not since the 1970s, and even then, that was their third choice kit. And that's about it really. Music's alright, lyrics are bog standard. Next. At number 8 is Fuck It, parentheses, I Don't Want You Back by Eamon. A former number 1 in 13 different countries, which includes the UK where it spent 4 weeks at the top, it's undoubtedly a song that sparked a bit of controversy, not only in its lyrical content, but the marketing ploy that surrounded this song, as well as a follow-up response track, which I'll be talking about very shortly. Courtesy of New York singer/rapper Eamon Jonathan Doyle, someone who's been so prolific throughout the music world that he hasn't done anything worth recognition since 2004, even releasing a second album in 2006 which bombed so badly that there's no record as to where this album charted anywhere in the world. Fuck It is Eamon recanting a breakup in which he details what happened. Basically, the woman he was involved with cheated on him, she was busted and tells her to go fuck herself. This is one of those songs that, for me, it's really difficult to rally up any sort of bile for it. It's not a brilliant song by any stretch of the imagination, but I can't really fully despise it. It's average, let's say that. On some level, I can tolerate it. The production is decent. I think it's smooth and the accompanying background vocals are a nice touch, and Eamon's vocals, whilst nothing special, don't really deter me too much. Does this make me a bad person that I feel this way about this song? Probably. but I never said I was a saint, did I? At number 7 is Hotel by Cassidy featuring R. Kelly. As was well documented throughout the mid-2000s, the surge of hip-hop artists busting through onto mainstream radio was rampant. Unfortunately, what that meant was that there was a slew of artists who, for the majority of the time, had one, maybe 2 hits if they were lucky enough, and then they would disappear, and thankfully we would never have to hear from them again. Usually they would get a hit with the helping hand of someone who was way more popular than they were, and in many regards have them to thank for their hits. Step forward Cassidy, a Pennsylvania rapper who had this hit, which peaked at number 3. His following song landed outside of the top 20, and that was it. Never to be heard of again. As is to be expected, R. Kelly is easily the best part on this track, dropping a chorus which is kind of solid, basically inviting some piece of arse back to his hotel room. Hopefully that piece of arse is of legal age. Whilst Cassidy, whose delivery and flow, if you can even call it that, is pretty painful to listen to. Bragg raps about wanting to snatch some woman away from her man, if not her, then her friend, and rhymes words with themselves or not bothers to rhyme them at all. The production, courtesy of Swiss Beats, is pretty decent, merging an R&B and Latin style instrumentation together, although the random car horns and jerky bass line does become rather off-putting. All in all, the song's fine. At number 6 is F.U.R.B by Frankee. This is the response track to Fuck It, I Don't Want You Back. If you thought that the latter was insufferable and gratuitous, then I invite you to listen to this song and you can tell me which one is the worst song. This track comes courtesy of Nicole Francine Ilo, aka Frankee, another New York-based rapper who, much like Eamon, has this one and only song to be remembered by, and much like Eamon's career after the mileage of this song ran out, Frankee's career also hit the skids. Taking aside for a moment that this song is effectively a marketing ploy, let's pretend that this is a genuine song and analyse it. F.U.R.B, which is an abbreviation of Fuck You Right Back, and spent 3 weeks at number 1, I'll let you know, basically involves Frankee taunting Eamon for being a crybaby little bitch and rubs his face in the fact that, yeah, she cheated on Eamon with his friend. Why? Because Eamon didn't perform. Which, honestly, is a pretty unflattering excuse, and if this was supposed to be some sort of comeuppance of the female's behalf, boy does it fail. It's unnecessarily visceral, highly personal, and if anything, it makes Eamon seem more like the sympathetic part in this. I think what makes me dislike this song more than Fuck It is the aesthetics. Eamon's song does have some quality to it, but Frankee's attempt to make Eamon the arsehole here is pretty poor. How can I sympathise with a woman who basically said, yeah, I cheated on you and I'm glad I did it because your friend had a bigger cock? Anyone with a functioning brain can tell you that this is a petulant response and is entirely tactless. Is it any wonder that this woman's music career sunk like the Titanic? No. Next. At number 5 is All Together Now by The F.U.R.B featuring SFX Boys Choir. Little fact about this song. This was the second time that this song went into the top 10, having originally been released in 1990, peaking at number 3. This time around, the song was re-released and was quickly adopted as another anthem for England's campaign in Euro 2004. This time featuring backing harmonies from the St Francis Saviour's Boys Choir from Walton, Liverpool. The F.U.R.B's success in the UK was varied, only having 3 top 10 singles. As mentioned, this particular song hitting the top 10 twice, and only 1 top 20 track in 1992. Disbanded in 1996, only to resurface in 2004, but have done nothing of any significance since this song recharted. The inspiration behind All Together Now, according to frontman Peter Hooton, was derived from the events that occurred on the Western Front in 1914, when the English and German soldiers on opposing sides, for one day, put their differences aside, ceased fighting, and spent Christmas Day playing football on no man's land, celebrating, exchanging gifts, and conversing with one another. Sampling Johann Pachelbel's Canon, the lyrics are very poignant, full of reminiscing about our forefathers, the sacrifices they made during World War I, and the human spirit in general. Noting that during their greatest conflicts, even opposing sides can still put aside their differences, even if it's just for one day. Simple lyrics that are effective, straight to the point, and have great resonance on you. I really like this song. At number 4 is Trick Me by Kelis. Kelis was one of those artists who, honestly, I noticed dotting around for a while but never really invested much time into her and can't really be bothered to explore her back catalogue. Majority of people out there will no doubt remember Kelis for her most infamous and hideous song, Milkshake, an absolute ear rape of a track, but probably not so much Trick Me, a song that peaked at number 2 in the UK charts, missing out on the top spot no thanks to Frankee of all people. Yet another reason to hate F.U.R.B right back. This is definitely one of Kelis's better songs that has plenty of things to like about it. The R&B ska sound with a bouncy bass line, staccato guitar chords, and Kelis's almost husky, low-key delivery combines to make what's a very well-delivered track. Trick Me details a previous relationship that Kelis was in and how the guy has been playing around and that she's not going to put up with his shit and immediately gets out of there as quickly as possible, as to avoid being messed around again. Despite admitting that she fell for this guy's lies constantly and loved getting swept up in this guy's lifestyle, she's woken up and realised that this is no longer what she wants and tells this guy off. You know, it's rather odd to hear a song where a female actually gets out of something that she clearly recognises is destined for the scrap heap and not overfill it with the bile or scorn or trying to rationalise this guy's behaviour, but instead admits that she too was somewhat fallible in this situation, but is smart enough to realise this and realises that enough is enough. Not much to criticise here. It's a very good song. Definitely check it out. At number 3 is Dragostea Dintai by Ozone, or more commonly known to the public and the internet generation as the Numa Numa song, and forever being infamous thanks in no small part to Gary Brolsma. Dragostea Dintai, translated out to Love from the Lindens, has some impressive credentials behind it. Number 1 in 11 different countries, spent 12 weeks at number 1 in the Eurochart Hot 100, spent 3 months at number 1 in both Germany and France, being the biggest selling single of that year in both countries, and being covered endlessly by other artists leeching off of this song's 15 minutes of fame. Translated with a lot of blunt force, the song, from what I can gather, is these three trying to get the attention of some woman by showering her with compliments. But trust me when I say the translation is very messy, and much like a lot of songs sung in a foreign tongue, you're never going to get a clear and concise translation. I guess if I'm being generous, the good parts of this song are that it does have a catchy opening, which is pretty much the only thing that anyone can repeat incessantly, and the beat is decent enough. Other than that, what else can I say about it? Not much. Next. At number 2 is Come On England by 442. Once again, another anthem for England's unsuccessful Euro 2004 campaign. This one is easily less tolerable than Twisted X's single. Ripping off the music from Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners, performed by a group of unsigned musicians, coupling it with lyrics written by a bunch of unknowns, Come On England is pretty embarrassing, cheesy, and not really worth any sort of examination. Don't waste your time on this one. Google the lyrics and you'll find out why. And the song that was number 1 on the 16th of June 2004 was I Don't Wanna Know by Marro Winans featuring Enya and P. Diddy. Number 1 in 3 different countries, I Don't Wanna Know comes courtesy of American R&B artist Marro Winans. And much like 80% of this list, this was Marro's one and only top 10 hit to ever crack the UK top 40. He hasn't done anything worth mentioning in the last 11 years. Apparently his third studio album is due to be released sometime soon. When? Who knows? Don't care. Sampling the synth riff from Enya's Boadicea and an accompanying guest from P. Diddy, I Don't Wanna Know details Marro's relationship with a woman who he knows is cheating on him, yet he refuses to let her know that he knows, since he doesn't want this lady to leave him. Which seems kind of redundant since he wrote a song about it and was a worldwide smash hit. So he's pretty much given the game away here. And yes, I know I'm taking this literally, and I don't care. It's what I do. The song, I guess, is okay. Although it's filled with the lyrical contradictions, i.e., I don't need to know the truth, baby, keep it to yourself, only to later go on in the bridge asking rhetorical questions about what she and this random dude she's been doing the dirty with have done. Then P. Diddy enters the song and further adds to the confusion by stating that he doesn't want this woman, whether it's the same woman or not, I don't know, but I'm assuming so, to leave him and isn't going to let her go, but then gives her the ultimatum that if she isn't invested in this relationship anymore, then she should leave. So, what is it? Do you want her to go or not? Plus, I do have to question how much self-esteem Marro has in himself. If he's that self-conscious that he's willing to allow this crap to keep going on and is willing to remain willfully ignorant of the whole thing, what does that say about him? Rational people would confront their loved one on this and get some answers. You know what? Whatever. If Marro's fine with living this life, fine. Let him have his cake and eat it. And there you go. Those were the top 10 hit songs of June 16th, 2004. What do you think? Have you heard the songs? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you agree with my opinions, disagree with them? However you feel, leave your comments in the comment section below. I would love to hear from them. And until next time, I'm That Song Review Guy, and take care.